All right. Let's get into it. Okay. The good lucks have fun's getting spammed on out. The aggressive opening out of Bosse. This is one that I'm going to be learning and studying and trying to be able to replicate as I start getting onto the ladder. You get out there, you're aggressive. The arc ship is already moving out, trying to kind of get itself in position, and we immediately see the collection array. So here's the way this map works. You've got your base located right here, tucked back in the corners here, whether you're in the north or the south. So we've got Fana, of course, our Celestial player in the south, our Infernal player Bosse in the top here, and we, of course, got our setup here with our pocket expansion, if you will. You've got a ramp coming right here, and then you've got a ramp over here. So we do see, of course, immediately sending the Hexen right over here to start harassing the Prism. This is kind of like a free thing that you can do like at a higher level, right? Part of this is because your opponent is not able to keep their Morph Core around, right? They're sitting here and being able to send the Morph Core and turn it into an expansion. But this is really, really aggressive here, right? We're putting our Shroud Stone up right away. Instead of worrying about the expansion, we're saying this is the point of contention. Yes, we're going to start seeing the power banks get added in here. We're going to see the creation chamber almost finished up here, and then that will start producing a lot more troops. In the meantime, rallied on over, we see the brutes coming. It's going to be a bit of a hike to get there, but the first creation chamber is done over at the expansion and will be coming on over here. And there we do see the power bank was able to kind of start adding a little bit of extra damage coming out here, but we'll clean up one of it. And this Shroud Stone, very aggressive, doing lots of work. And look at this, using the creation chamber to be able to be that sovereign watch, right? That dealing damage to nearby enemy units. Only units, not buildings. That's where the Shroud Stone is pretty useful here. Now, let's see. Does he continue to just kind of let it auto-target here, or does he target down the Prism or something? We see just sort of the auto-target taking place. In the meantime, we see pushing over here at the natural, trying to take out the banks, but the expansion's coming down behind this. This is not an all-in. Bosse is not saying this is all I'm doing this game. This is an aggressive opening in order to try to deal as much damage. Ooh, almost kills it there. Interesting. Actually targets these units here, maybe hoping to be able to kind of snipe off and deal a little bit of damage. He knows he wants to be able to heal them up eventually, but this kind of aggressive push here will kill the brute off, and the fiends do actually, one of them escapes. So the pressure is at a standstill now. We're done with the pressure. We were able to get in there. We did a little bit of work, you know, kill the power bank or two here, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward and clear up. We're good. We can relax a little bit. A lot of these units are very low on energy, though. See them at 3, 5. So we will be seeing them heal up, and then they're going to be utilizing that power bank here. So what is the transition here? Fana is going to just kind of continue and amass up a decent fighting force of Argents. They work out very well in this kind of situation here as he kind of really starts to establish himself, not going for a forward aggressive base at the moment. All right, we want to kind of protect our side of the map and get ready to have a forward location. It's also harder on this based on where the natural, you get almost like a free natural because of the way that this map is set up. But you see it's kind of like a pathway, right? It forces you to kind of go down the center if you want to be able to attack your opponent. Because of that, these watchtowers are very crucial and key. Look at the amount of vision that they provide here. So watch this mini map and see that, boom, huge amount of vision that you can see if anybody is approaching on either side of you here. So you can really be able to know, okay, are they here? Do I need to be worried? It's dangerous out here, but on the other side here, Bosse locking in, getting a nice little defense here, putting some meat farms, and really making sure that he can be able to defend this location because, of course, the watchtower lets him know that his opponent is pushing up at him. So he says, all right, let's go. You're going to try to take this? You can try. It's not going to be for free. All right, they're contesting it. And there's the Fiend trap. Look at those. The Fiend's coming in. Their whole goal here is to stop these guys in place. It says, no, you cannot escape here, but we do see some nice little stutter stepping, and we'll be able to kind of sneak his way on out. That's the thing about it. We'll lose a few units in the process, but for the most part, a lot of them might be able to get out, except a Fiend's come back again, and we'll be able to trap a few more. 2 more go down, 3 more go down, and the last couple of Argents are now in shambles, scrambling their way across the map, trying to find a way back home, and they're going to get cleaned up. None of them leave with their lives, and that is just going to be that rallying call for Bosse here. Says, okay, let's go. Let's grab all the troops we can. We have a big wave coming out here of gaunts that just got produced, and let's start setting our rally points across the map, set up at this forward location here, and now be able to kind of push in here. Let's double check, though. He's going to send his way across. Confirm. Do you have a third base here yet? Because this is the kind of ideal place. It's very far away from the natural location, but we do see, nope, there is no third base. So let's go right into the main. Let's try to take out as much as we can here. First things first, going right for the prisms. That's adding extra mining here, but some Kree come in trying to deal some extra damage. Remember, they do have that explosion that they can be able to do at the end if they end up dying here, and Morph Core coming out here trying to provide additional support, and there's some Kree going in, getting some explosions done. Their whole goal is to try to get on top of this army. We do see a Gaunt getting shredded in the process here. Got to be careful. If too many of these Gaunts go down, the Morph Cores can be able to help with the defense. Now, they don't do as much damage against the Brutes, so you've got to be aware of that and be prepared. There's some more Kree coming in, getting exploded. Oh, actually get trapped in there, actually dealing a lot of damage to the Hexen. And we do see that additional Sovereign Watch coming in here to basically say, go away. You cannot just take this for the price of for free. You're going to have to really commit a lot of troops if you want to be able to take this down. And there we see able to kind of fall back and say, okay, all right, I can't bust you, right? This bust is not effective yet, but like a good RTS player, I'm expanding behind this. Even though I'm being aggressive and I'm attacking, I'm also watching my macro. I'm spending the resources I've got directly on this. But one thing to note is just keep an eye on this Morph Core here. One thing in this map is we have island bases. It's going to make it very tough to be able to deal with here. And we see that is the case. We're going to see Fana taking a third, and going to be taking a fourth very soon after this. So these locations that we talked about, the main thing about the Celestials is they get to just throw outposts out on the map. Here's this location here by this mineral patch here, this Luminite that I can be able to mine from here. I'm going to be having power banks there. I'm going to be able to start throwing some creation chambers, and now I can be set up here. And we do see the Morph Core getting itself ready to take this location as well. Oh, Kree coming in here. It does get the scout, does get the confirmation. Okay, there is this base here, but we are protected. So even though you could be like, where's the army? The army's here. There wasn't the scout coming over to check this, but this base is quite secure at this point in time here. But again, the Watchtower is helping to see where the Kree are going and sees, oh, look at that. Look how quick that was. The initial bonus damage here of them rolling in here and being able to kind of roll out, and they will be able to escape. Couple extra pot shots from the Shroud Stone, but this is also the confirmation. Are you actually mining from this? Are you taking advantage of your secondary resource? Nope, not at the moment. Now, did the Fiends catch this? Don't believe they were able to see it there because their whole goal was to check this normal third base. I say normal, quote unquote, as this is kind of often what we see players go for. We see that's what our Infernal player Bosse went for, but Fana says no. There are island maps. This is an island map. Let's take advantage of the islands and just get free resources. So he's sitting up there, and look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Link nodes, power nodes coming in here, and we're going to be ready to kind of secure this location here. And he's setting up, and there's the vision. Now we know. Of course, this does help out. You, of course, need the Hexen to be able to do that. And now we can kind of get in there and start to deal damage with this. The next tier units have been added in. We see the Magmadons making a appearance here, which are going to be very important to deal with the Kree that we see coming and rolling around on the map. We're getting into a little bit of a dance between these players trying to find angles to attack, and there, boom, immediately catches it. Look how quickly he can take out those guns. That's why the Magmadons have to be there, have to be babysitting, have to be ready to protect those units, because as soon as they pounce, they are getting shredded there. So we do, of course, have that added bonus for them. So they get that roll out. After not attacking for 3 seconds, units get to be tucked into a ball and roll around. awesome, right? They get that added bonus, extra armor, and then they kind of deal extra damage to surrounding units because they've got that blaze of light. When this unit takes fatal damage, they'll explode. So we've got a nice little kind of rolling out style of play here for these Kree. And that's kind of that fast mobility here. If they can jump on these glass cannons of Gaunts, they'll be in a great spot there. So we do see there's the rollout. Watch, boom, immediately loses all that white extra armor that they have. 2 hits, shredding their health, and then they're going to be cleaned up. Any that stay alive turn into bombs and will explode, dealing extra damage. So you have to be very careful about it. But look at the supply. This is the thing about the Infernal versus the Celestial. A very good Infernal player is going to take advantage of their kind of wave of unit production, keeping units alive, and just trading off your opponent's army. Now, where's the Hexen? He's not here with this, so he does not get the vision to know that space is up and running. He knows it's going to be here somewhere. It looks like he hasn't seen it. That angle is perfect for being able to keep it hidden. All right, if he rolls back this way, he's going to miss it, but you know, he might be under that assumption. Okay, I've taken my opponent down to 2 bases, 3 bases. Oh, now he sees it. Now he knows for sure the Hexen is here. He's gotten the confirmation. He's gotten the vision, so he knows exactly what he needs to do here. And there we see some Gaunt's going to be taking a little bit of extra damage from the explosion, but not too bad here. We did, of course, get both upgrades here to be able to add the extra speed, be able to add the extra infest abilities, and more Hexen getting added into it is going to be crucial. So normally you're seeing the Magmadons get added in for that kind of brute force, a little bit of slow, a little bit of the slam ability that they get to do when they trample over and deal that extra damage to nearby units. But really, the damage is going to be from all of these Gaunts. You need that high DPS to be able to help out. So where are we going to be going from here as Fana, as he scrambles to try to get something together in a defensive mode, switching into the Scythe here, going for air, but with such a high Gaunt count, that is not going to be as effective as he's hoping for here. And you can just see the trickle of red moving its way across the map here, and we see, boom, big first attack coming over here, taking out the mining location here. There's not any towers to really help it out, but we do see that kind of activation here as we do get that extra Sovereign's Watch to deal the damage to the units. But there's so many units here. He's really got to be able to focus these Gaunts if he wants to be able to stay alive. And look at this, trying to reposition, but boom, there we go. Going to be dropping skulls right on top of here. These, of course, do that explosion, do the reveal. We see that kind of eyeball letting us know that they have been revealed and infest them. But this base is overrun by the Infernal, and it is going to be cleaned up very easily. On the other side, we do see the Gaunts confirm that this has been taken over here. So he knows exactly what he needs to do in order to kind of close out this game. Supplies are plummeting for Fana as he tries to assemble something. I like the idea of trying to switch into the Scythe. That's kind of that normal, okay, let's go for these air. But Gaunts are so good in these stages here when your opponent is being mobile that the air isn't going to be as effective, but you need a higher tech unit. But there is the GG called. Fana taps out, and Bosse takes game number 1 in this best of 3 series here. Very good first game in the series. This is, of course, a best of 3, so we will be seeing another match, another game within these two players take place here. But a lot of that really came down to the army positioning, right? The way that things worked out, getting caught here, get caught there, and Fana just constantly being like, all right, I need to be aggressive. Let me move out with these units. Oh, they got caught. They died off, right? Like the very first push that he went, okay, let's poke up, let's be aggressive, let's keep our opponent from just macroing up uncontested. They can't just sit here and take bases. I got to actually deal damage. First attack, ineffective. All right, so, oh, now they go. Now I pick one from my order, or is this, okay, so they're figuring everything out, and yes, we are going to be jumping into it. It is now Fana's map pick here. That's where you get paid out the money. Of course, if you make top 4, you at least guarantee 10 points. And Bosse has been playing pretty much all day because he played in the European event and was able to make top 4 at the European event. So that was able to secure 10 points for him. He's currently sitting at 40 points. If he can get at least 50, that puts him in the top 8 contention right now. We have 2 people tied for top 8 with 50 points. Neither are playing in this event right now. All right. Let's jump into it. Celestials versus Infernals. Isle of Dread. Good lucks, have fun. We've seen this map before. Spawning up here in the north. It is our red Infernal player known as Bosse. And his opponent spawning in the south. It is our Celestial player, Fana. Just like we've seen before, if you're playing Celestials on this map, go for this double Luminite expansion. Take your Morph Core, send it out. If you're playing against Infernals, you know they're going to be aggressive against you. We're going to see another very aggressive opening. Now, the question is, will he go for the expansion this time around, which I feel like is the way to go, but you know, he's found getting in here and being aggressive and taking out the prisms initially makes a lot of sense, which it does. When we think about it, the arc ship is not going to be flying all the way over here, so we can be able to kind of send our Hexen over here to do that. But the tower's coming up at the expansion this time. Creation chamber getting built. Prism getting hurt. We'll start getting weakened down quite a bit. Uncontested damage going down here, but just little bit by little bit, dropping to 64. He does have to wait until he gets enough energy. Then he could start throwing more of those skulls in there to weaken him off. But look at it. He's just going to kind of send him away. Yeah, you need just enough to get away. In the meantime, the first Brute is on way here. There we go. Shroudstone done, but guess what? Creation Chamber's done. Our first agents will be coming out there. Argents, not agents. There he is. Let's see how well he does. But the Brute's going to keep that at bay. All right, that's his whole goal here, is to just kind of hold this position. And there we see the lift off. Of course, you can be able to do that. Collection Array can just kind of zip away and say, we'll deal with you later. That's why things get tough if you're fighting against a Vanguard player when they've got Hedgehogs, because they can just immediately turn their Hedgehogs into the anti-air mode and kill those Collection Arrays when they try to fly away. But this is really a great start for Bosse. He is going to be able to push this away, and we see the expansion taken is the one that I always take if I'm Infernals on this map. And this is this kind of far left expansion. Instead of going for the double Illuminite here, getting the additional resources is nice early on, but you want to be able to get your Therium because you are going to be building up another large Gaunt count. You're going to want to be teching up here. So I would not be surprised if we see a Conclave get added in if it has not already. And look at that. It is already halfway done there. So, but enough Argents are here to be able to... Oh! I was going to say maybe defend this, but no. Looks like they were not able to. And with the extra support of the Brute, that was able to get cleaned up. And he just says, nope, let's leave it. Ah, okay, so we're getting some good tips and info. You go for the base that doesn't have the racks, so we should go to the main there. So that makes sense, right? You want to be able to get in and try to deal as much damage as possible in this sort of location here. So good tips and tricks here. Now we do see the Brute trying to find an angle to get in there and deal a little bit of extra damage, but now that we've got a little bit of Argents out, we'll be okay. Now this is a very large map. It's very big. It's very hard to kind of get across to the other side. So having the mobile army and the mobile fiends in here to kind of keep an eye on things and scout, that's going to be very important and very necessary here. But now we're going to start getting some speed here. We'll get a little bit of battling and taking this out. Going to be having, of course, our creation chamber helping and forcing these little creep camps to be able to take it out. What do you think of the new creep camps? Do you like the new units instead of like the giant chickens and stuff that happened before? Oh, interesting. It's got a progress bar on it. All right, another wave of fiends coming. But, like I said, the Gaunts are the key thing here. So, Ritual Chamber getting added in. We need that infest ability to kind of help us out. The extra vision is going to be very nice too, right? This is a very important location to kind of keep an eye on. An easy attack path to see come across here. And often we'll see players go and take that kind of attack route as well. But we do see Bosse being the one to be aggressive here. Last time he got lucky with Fana moving across the map and being able to get caught out. The Fiend's really, really helpful for trapping and surrounding units. Now, we'll see here. It's kind of a little ships passing in the night, just barely out of vision. But there is the Morph Core going to catch this army moving around and immediately will get sniped off. Watch this. Oh my gosh, he does get to pull it back in time. So slow moving. It was really risky here. But now we see the Fiends pouncing on top of this location here, forcing the army to kind of fall back, which then allows Bosse to kind of reposition and go, I know where your army is. Let's go for another angle and find another avenue to be able to attack in here at. All right, cleans up. Oh, a couple free gaunts. We'll take those. It's a nice little pick here. And that's a little bit of misrally. It happens. You already sent some troops over that way. That's fine. But the arc ship is kind of positioned over here on the left, so we can be able to start getting those bases up and running. Again, these bases that you want to be able to establish as Celestials are really important for making sure that you start to add additional protection here, right? The power banks getting added in here are really important here, as well as being able to turn those into the link nodes, which end up turning into like towers and cannons as well here. But there we see, gotta be careful, don't let the Fiends get you. Not very many. The army isn't as scary and big right now, and the bonus that you get from the speed is going to make this very easy to be able to defend. But the whole point of this push right now, right, this shark mode that Bosse is going for here, is to, you know, distract, pay attention to this, don't come on my side of the map. That way I can be able to expand out. And oh, hey, check this out. A little free little worker here, just being like, yeah, I'm gonna mine this. And this is really smart here. If you had to send the prison away early, we see how low it is. You get that confirmation of whether or not your opponent is expanding there. So Morph Core still over here trying to scout. Look, just kind of lifts up. Very good about being able to protect it. Until then, ooh, gets onto the high ground there. Just barely gets to be able to save it and does catch a nice little brute there. But again, this force is not going to be the main, like, army that we need to worry about. We're really going to be worrying about the kind of the next build up here, and there is the information we needed. 3 conclaves getting added in. We'll see a huge influx of these gaunts getting added into the army soon, and exactly what you need. You see the amount of forces that your opponent is working with, and you go, okay, cool. If I can get enough gaunts added in here, I can shred through this army very quickly. My opponent is not going for the Kree this time, which is going to make it a little bit harder on him. He needs to get in there and deal that extra damage, but we're going to see the build-up. The disruption has been really helpful here. And look at this little hit squad of gaunts that's hiding over in the corner here, ready to kind of move in at a moment's notice. All right, army is repositioning itself back on defense mode. Bosse is ready. He's sitting here and positioning himself to kind of defend. We see Shroud Stones getting added in, and there's the hit squad coming in, immediately going in here and trying to deal as much damage as possible here. And there we see Argents coming in to try to defend, and they will be able to clean all these up. Oh, Kree getting added in. It's time. Well, Thunderstorm has started. Uh-oh. Did I DC? Uh-oh. We're getting the lag spikes. Oh, the Thunderstorm hit everybody. Sorry, we started getting some drop frames for a second there. Ooh, all right. Let's get back into it. Thunderstorm hit, and it's messing up our stuff. We'll do our best to try, hopefully, to survive as our stream is getting hit by the storm. We're seeing storms happening right here within the battles that are taking place on this map with our 2 players, Fana versus Bosse here, and the army of Infernal is zipping across the map trying to find the angles, but Fana is doing a great job defending, finding the spots that he needs to defend at. And there's the arc ship actually getting caught here. So many gaunts are there, and things are looking tough, and we'll actually get the snipe off here, and we'll be able to kind of reposition and remove his way forward. Thank you for the follows, everybody. We appreciate you guys sticking with us and enjoying the streams here today as we try to get you guys some more epic Stormgate action. But we've got a very aggressive push coming in here, and hopefully the storm doesn't mess up our casting too much for you all to be able to enjoy. But we got the next big push coming in, taking out a lot of the army, and now we can kind of pounce on top of this base, and he knows that it is just free real estate here as he goes in, and GG is called as the rest of the Celestial army begins to crumble under the power of the Infernal, even dropping our effigy, our totem here, to get that shroud surrounding this base. What a game. Sorry for the random spikes that we had in the middle of that, but very exciting to see such a fun, exciting game. And that is the match that we need to see from Bosse's side here. What does that mean? That means that he has guaranteed at least made himself into that top spot to guarantee get 10. So he's in the top 8 contention. We'll see how well he does in the next round there. Whoa, we've got lots of good matches coming up here still to go. Mitosis versus Lulis.